Today's video is about Bondi Sands. I am a woman that is from English, Irish, and a Scottish descent. So I guess you could say I'm white. I'm very pale, and it's quite good because a lot of the time I get girls coming up to me and being like, wait, you're not naturally that colour, you're not naturally tan. The great thing about Miss Universe Australia is that Bondi Sands is actually a sponsor, which is incredible because I've used Bondi Sands since high school. So I'm going to be talking to you about my tips and tricks when it comes to Bondi Sands and my fake tanning routine. Now, I do it at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. And right now I just topped up my fake tan. Usually I use the Ultra Dark from Bondi Sands, but this time I just laid up another coat to make it nice and natural with the dark fake tan from Bondi Sands. Fake tan tip number 1, and one of my favorite products because I could not pick just one product to be my favorite. This is the Self Tan Eraser from Bondi Sands. Now, I love this tan eraser because, well, here's your first tip and trick. So what is really annoying when you're putting on your next layer of tan is you actually do have some leftover tan. It can get a little bit patchy, so the best product to use is this bad boy. And that's because all you need to do is put it on for about 5 minutes. It's just a little mousse, and then you let it soak, have a nice shower, and it comes right off. So all of the bad bits of your tan, and if you just want to remove your tan the night before an event and put on a nice new layer, this is your go-to. Now the second one that I cannot live without. I love the Ultra Dark from Bondi Sands, and as I said to you before, I am super white. I'm very, very fair. I know the majority of people tend to go back to the dark because it just gives you a nice natural little coat, but natural for me is the Ultra Dark. Tan tip number 2. So my second tip and the most vital tip is please make sure you're exfoliating. So a few days before you're going to put your fake tan on, make sure you exfoliate your whole body to make sure all those dead skin cells are gone so that you have a nice even tan. Step number 3, I like to put moisturizer in the dry areas of my skin. So that would be my elbows, my wrists, my fingers, my knees. I don't know if a lot of you have noticed before, but when you see some girls with fake tan, unfortunately, sometimes they do get in the little creases of your knuckles. The next step of how to apply the fake tan, how I like to apply my fake tan is I normally put, again, I will say I'm very fair and I like to use a lot of fake tan. So I put 2 to 3 pumps, but I know normally people only put 1 to 2. So I put 3 pumps of the mousse and I move it in circular motions all over my body. So make sure you're using that mitt, not your hands. You don't want orange hands. It's not okay. And now it's time to soak in that tan. So what I normally like to do is I leave it on for about 6 hours, which can be a bit excessive, but you can wash it off between 1 to 6 hours depending on how you like it. I recommend giving it a few goes of testing out the fake tan just to see what you like because everyone has their own personal preferences. It can get a bit sticky, so be cautious when you sleep in the fake tan because it does take me a little bit to fall asleep with it. But there's another tip that I tried, and that is using baby powder on your skin with like a loose brush when you've just applied it. It doesn't take away the tan at all, so don't worry about that. All it does is make sure you don't have that stickiness when you're going to bed. Now, one of the last steps is having the shower to wash off that fake tan. Make sure when you're having that shower, you do not stay in there longer than about 10 or 15 seconds because let's be real, you don't want to wash all that fake tan off that you left on for about 6 hours, do you? When you come out as well, very important, don't dry yourself how you normally would with a towel. Just pat yourself dry because you don't want to leave any marks again. Make sure that you moisturize. To me, that is the most important tip because 1, it prolongs your tan, so you keep your tan for much longer. 2, it makes you have the most even looking complexion. It makes it look nice and natural. And 3, well, it hydrates the skin so you'll have that lovely glow. Bondi Sands also has a gradual tanning milk moisturizer and it is phenomenal. It is also something that I use daily. So it does prolong your tan because it gradually increases your tan over time as well. and it's super hydrating, it's super good for the skin, so give that one a go too. I would like to say a massive thank you to Bondi Sands for sponsoring the girls of Miss Universe Australia this year, and thank you so much for your generosity, because honestly I'm such a white fair girl and I really appreciate having some fake tan in my life. Thanks so much for watching my tanning tips and tricks with Bondi Sands. Hope you enjoyed.